At what point do you accept that you can't take calls from candidates and clients all day, every day? I mean, you could, but what happens to the growth of your business? What happens to your income? Like, you know that you've hit a ceiling at this moment in time where you literally don't have enough time to handle the amount of responsibilities that you're dealing with day to day. And that capacity element hits people in different ways. Like, you could be recruiting in a niche where the fees are 100K each time and you make 4 placements a month, in which case, well done to you. 400K a month is now your new ceiling. Nice problem to have. What happens when I go on holiday? What happens when I take time off? What happens when I've got an emergency? And this is usually the place where recruiters get stuck, because yes, anywhere from 10, even up to 80K a month is good money. Probably a lot more than what you were making in your 9 to 5. And when you hit those revenue numbers, 20, 30, 40, even 50K a month, you think you made it and you have just completed the game on hard level. That's not it. That's far from the truth. What you've built for yourself in that situation is a job inside your business. You are the sales call taker and the candidate qualifier and the closer for your business. You might be content there, but again, you're one emergency, one holiday away from your pipeline drying up. And the real money in recruitment, I'm talking like 10 million plus a year recruitment businesses, that kind of money only comes from one way, and that is building a team. Because now that business grows with how many people you hire, not with how many placements you make. And it's an important point to mention here. There's 2 reasons why you might be motivated to do it. Number 1, you genuinely want to grow a business and achieve really big numbers. The other one is you might have restrictions outside of work. And this was actually my personal driver. So I want to share it here for a moment. The moment at which it really occurred to me that I had to change something about my business is as my family began to grow. I knew that I couldn't be all things to all people in every niche at every single time, doing all the lead generation and the client calls and the candidates and chasing invoices and do all of that and be a present dad, especially to a child with special needs. This is not going to happen. So I had to change something about the business. I was actually inspired by Tim Ferriss's 4-hour work week and implemented everything in there to the T. But regardless of your motivator, being a solo operator is a stepping stone in the journey, not the end goal. You might genuinely be happy there. And I can tell you from my experience, it was a milestone that I felt massive. It was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe all of this is coming together and I'm making good money and I don't have a pain in the ass of a boss who I have to deal with. It was so liberating. But that feeling of liberation wears off after a little while. For some people, it takes a few months. For some people, it takes a few years. But the reality still hits hard, is that you are capped from a ceiling perspective, from an income perspective, from a growth perspective, until you start to hire a team. And at this moment in time, when I talk about hiring a team, I'm not just talking about literally humans, people that will work for you. I'm also talking about software, because AI and automation can do so much for you these days. Lean into it. It might be the case that the work that you're trying to do and amplify can be done much better by just deploying more software rather than hiring a recruiter. In which case, do that first, because that also creates a leverage point when you come to hire. Because now imagine a recruiter coming into a job where they're just kitted out with AI and automation tools and their job becomes so much easier. They don't have to work overtime and they get paid well. Well, that becomes a dream job for them. I know so, because I have this lens that I look through while I'm building my own recruitment business. And that is, how do I create an opportunity that's so good that nobody wants to leave? And if you look at our average tenure for employees, then we are way above industry average. And that's because I've only ever seen one resignation. Every single other person who has left the business has been fired, or it was mutually agreed that things weren't working out. But I've only ever seen one resignation where somebody was leaving to go for a better opportunity. And the difference from staying solo to building a business beyond that point is not to do with talent. It's not to do with whether you have experience of hiring or training or not. It's purely the decision to committing to building a business that is bigger than you and one that can operate without depending on you.